Hello, my fellow comic book collectors. Today is Friday, and on Fridays I do my cover challenge. Basically, what I do is I put a shout out to the community to show me some of your best covers related to whatever theme it is that we do each week. Last week I did Spider-Man covers, so best Spider-Man covers. And I showed pretty much grail after grail. Like I just try to, because I love Spider-Man. I pretty much have all the major books for Spider-Man because I really do like Spider-Man. And the one that won was the biggest grail for Spider-Man is this book. This was the winner from last week. You know, it's a great cover. It's like, to me, this is the you know, they always say the face that launched 1,000 ships. Well, this is the comic that launched 1,000 titles. You know, this is the comic. It is the Marvel comic, in my opinion. Like Amazing Spider-Man Amazing Fantasy 15. It is what it is. It is a great comic, great cover, and yeah, people loved it. So that was Marvel's big key book. So now I think, hey, you know, I'm gonna kind of focus on challenges this month that are related to characters. So it's going to be character month. What other big character is there? Well, to me, the next big character is Batman. So actually, I'd like Batman a little bit more than Spider-Man. So I'm going to show you some really great Batman books. And I'm going to first of all show you some that didn't make the list, that could have made the list, that are really great. I'm going to show you this one. I just think it's a really great cover. It's a Vengeance of Bane, and I just really like this cover. My only issue with it, in terms of why it might be low, just didn't make my list, was that it's more about Bane than it is about Batman in terms of the art. So it made it a little bit lower on my list. So this is number 11. It didn't make my list. It didn't make my top 10. But my first one is kind of the balance to that. This is number 10 on my list. This is Detective Comics 225. And the reason I like this is it's got that kind of old school kind of Batman look. And it's got lots of Batmans. It's like, this is the first Martian Manhunter, but it's one where it's a whole bunch of Batmans, and you got Robin over here just smiling. I just think it's really interesting. You know, who is the real Batman kind of thing. I think that's kind of cool. I always like this cover, regardless of the fact that it is a key. I know I have a tendency of showing lots of keys, but most of my collection is key orientated, so that's the way it is. So this is number 10 on my list. Detective Comics 225. Next on my list is, I always think that, you know, if you have like a character, you always have to have that wedding cover. And this is a really great one. I always like this cover. It's like the typical wedding thing. They're throwing rice, you get everyone kind of dressed up, and, you know, you see Batman in costume getting married. It's not like he's getting married as Bruce Wayne. He's getting married as Batman. And, you know, you got him and Batwoman getting married. I think that's just a really great cover. And you got you know, Robin kind of questioning, what will become of me now? You know, I think that's just, I actually like word bubbles on covers. A lot of people don't. I do. So I like this cover a lot. So this is Batman 122. Just a really great book. Okay, next one is 90s goodness. Okay, so I, you know, really got into collecting comics back in the early 90s. And 90s was all about die cuts and bling and blam, and I just like, this one is that. This is a die cut, or, you know, like it has like a, you know, this, I almost have to show it because it is 90s goodness. So yeah, this is the comic, and it has this nice little fold out thing. Isn't that great? I just love that. It's like, this is just such a great one. I actually think I have, like, this is one of the few comics where I think I went a little crazy and I bought like 2 or 3 copies, which is weird for me. Usually I just buy one, but I really like this one. I really like this cover too. I just like the way his cape is too. And I do like the fact that it has this little flippy thing. I just think it's really cool. So that's Batman 500. So that's number 8 on my list. And number 7 on my list, this is a new comic. So people complained that I showed too many big books. Well, I'm going to show you a book that is cover price. And I just like the dynamic of this cover. I just think it's a really great one. I like Catwoman, and you got Batman just doing that, like, like he's, just sort of looking off, and he's just being that heroic dude, and you got Catwoman like clinging to him. I think it's just a really great cover, and it's really well executed as well. So this is Batman Catwoman #1, the Black Label. So, just I think it's a really great cover. So yeah, so, I like that one a lot. So, this one is a little bit funny. I like it even though it's not really about Batman in a way. So it is a Batman comic, but it's Detective Comics 359. And I have to have this on the list because I do love this cover. The reason I love this cover, I know it's one of those covers where it is introducing, Batgirl, right? And, she's front and center. That's the whole kind of thing about it. And I do love that. That's what I really love about the cover. But I just love the fact that you got both Robin and Batman swinging in. I just love that dynamic of them. Like, whenever I think of Batman, I always think of him swinging in to the rescue. And I just like this cover for that reason, that you got Batman and Robin swinging in. And, like, as if, like, somehow, like, whatever action thing that they're going to go to requires them to swing into it. I don't know why. So I really enjoy that. I like the bat at the bottom here too. I always like this cover. I just thought it was great. So this is Batman Detective Comics 359. Okay. And when I was doing this list, I was actually worried. I actually kind of had to be careful when creating this list, because after a while I was pulling out Neil Adams, because a lot of my favorite covers involve Neil Adams and Batman, and I didn't want to have too much Neil Adams, but there's going to be a bit more. But here's the first Neil Adams cover, and this is Detective Comics 405. And what I really feel that was kind of interesting about Neil Adams and his influence on Batman was he really brought out the concept of the Dark Knight. This is just after the Silver Age is done. We're getting into the Bronze Age. This is 1970. It is a book where there's that transition. Like in the 60s, Batman was this hokey kind of silly character, like you think about the TV series, he's kind of hokey. He's doing the bat dance and all this kind of stuff. And you got Neil Adams just said, hey, let's take this character serious again. And he made him the Dark Knight again. It was like this more dark, more sinister, more, you got the moon, you got that whole ambiance with this book. And I really like that. So this is Batman 405, Neil Adams cover. Okay, so there's going to be a lot of Neil Adams because I do like Neil Adams covers. And again, same idea. It's like we got Batman Detective Comics 400. Again, you got this. Actually, I got to take it out of the plastic. You can't really see it. It's a little hard to see. I noticed that when I was... Okay, maybe now you can see a bit better. Okay, so yeah, so again, Batman and Man-Bat, and they're just, I like the fact that they're in this kind of, almost like they look like they're giants and they're fighting above the city. I just kind of think it's kind of cool. Again, this, more gravitas to Batman, more of a, Dark Knight element to him, more of a serious character. And I think that's really interesting. So I kind of like this cover a lot. And I do like the horror elements of Batman Bat. Okay, so that's, what number is that? I'm not sure I've lost my counting. I think that's number 5 on my list. Might be wrong. That was number 4. That was number 4 on my list. But don't get me wrong. When I say I like the serious elements of Batman, I actually do still enjoy the kind of more campy the elements of Batman. And this cover kind of encapsulates that. Even though this is not a 60s book, it kind of makes me feel like the 60s version of Batman. And this is Batman number 11 or 22. Batman 22, yes. And you got Alfred in the middle, and you got Batman and Robin in the background. I kind of like this. I like the fact that the spotlight's on them. I just always like this cover. And I always like the thing where his cape is kind of more like this style, where it's just sort of, you know, part of his costume. He's got it kind of draped over his shoulder. I really enjoy this cover. I forgot who did the art for it. Oh, Dick Sprang cover. So yeah, very nice cover. So I really enjoy that one. That's Batman 22 from 1944. So that's one of my Golden Age. That's my only Golden Age one that I'm showing on this list, which is unusual for me. I like to show lots of Golden Age stuff. But you're going to be surprised by my number 1 and my number 2. And these are my number 1 and number 2 comic Batman covers. This one will really surprise you. And it's one that I think is just a really great cover. The reason I like this cover so much, this is Batman, what number is it? 497. This is the very famous Bane breaking Batman's back. And it's just, I love it because of the fact that it's, you know, when you take a hero serious and when you take a villain serious is when you see that the hero is facing a challenge that is beyond him. And at this point, Bane is beyond Batman. He can't beat Bane. Bane is super strong. He basically breaks Batman. He breaks him, you know. And it was just it was the whole comic community was in a buzz about this comic. This like, so for me, I almost get super chill. I get chills by this comic, this cover, because it was like Batman was indestructible in a way. He was always like, you know, this character that was always winning. Bullets would bounce off him. He would just be able to do whatever, and he'd always, you know, keep on going. This one, he didn't. He was not. He was down for the count after this, and it was a real turning point for Batman. And so this cover encapsulates that whole dynamic where Batman, his back is broken. He is broken as a character. And I think it's really great. I thought it was a really great run as well. I enjoyed the series. So this cover has like so much meaning to me. I always like this cover. And yeah, so this is Batman 497. Bane breaking Batman's back. And that's a Kelly Jones cover. Okay, the next one. And I said that I had lots of Neil Adams on this. I actually removed a bunch of Neil Adams covers, but I couldn't remove this one because it is my ultimate favorite Batman cover. And it is just, to me, it's like, it is Batman. It just encapsulates Batman for me. And this is Batman 227. And you know, this is an homage to Batman Detective Comics 32 or whatever it is. Yeah, wait, it'll say 31. I always get the numbers wrong. Batman Detective Comics 31. So yeah, so this one I think is just really great. It's got that misting thing going on. This girl running away, and you know, you feel like there's some story there. He's almost like Batman's a ghost or some kind of phantom. I just really like this. I always feel like what makes Batman interesting is the moment before he appears. Like if you watch any Batman movie, you know, when the bad guys are like looking around, they see something, and they maybe one of the bad guys will disappear because like he gets beaten up or whatever. He just disappears, and then the other bad guys are looking around, what's happening, and there's that fear. That fear of what is this? We can't see it. We don't know where it is. We, you know, that almost ghost-like element to Batman. And I think this kind of has that feel, that ghostly presence of Batman, and that one of the things that makes Batman a great character is that villains and bad guys fear him. And this really, to me, encapsulates that. I really love this cover. So this is my favorite, this is my favorite Neal Adams cover. It's my favorite Batman cover, and it's number 1 on my list. So Batman 227, Neal Adams greatness. So yeah, I just really like that cover. So that has been my list of my favorite Batman covers. And I ask you to join in on this challenge, you know, or reach out to other channels. Tell them to join in on the challenge and show their favorite Batman covers. And all you have to do to participate is create a video with the hashtag Batman covers and Friday comic cover challenge. You know, I'll use the hashtags in the title so you'll see them and you can just use those hashtags and then we can all see your video. Also, what you can do is if you create a video, link it in the description, link it in the comments below, and I'll watch it. I watch every video where people take on my challenges. So thanks again for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoy these challenges. And if there's a character that you want to have appear in this month of character challenges, put it in the comments below and I'll maybe do a video with it. Okay, thanks again. Bye for now.